Hi, it's Roberto Mickey, and this video is a response to a viewer's question. They posed a very important question about the number of air changes per hour the Honeywell air purifier could perform. Well, to start, let's go with the CDC guidelines. The CDC recommends at least 6 air changes per hour for patient rooms and up to 15 air changes per hour for an operating room, especially if there's a patient with an airborne disease. There are several factors that are going to affect air changes per hour, including the size of the room measured in cubic feet. Normally we measure things for real estate, for example, in square feet, but in this case we need to account for the height of the ceiling. So to calculate the cubic foot measurement of a room, you take the square footage and then just multiply it by the height of the ceilings, and you'll come up with a cubic foot measurement for the room in particular. Secondly, the speed of the airflow through the air purifier is important as well, and this is measured in cubic feet per minute. Lastly, the type of filter. Obviously, using a HEPA filter is what we need to air purify for things that are airborne diseases. So to provide the answer for the viewer, I need to provide him with the cubic feet per minute that this air purifier can perform. Obviously, he has the size of the room that he wants to be able to use or filter. So using an anemometer, we're going to measure the airflow coming out of our Honeywell air purifier. We're using the PC anemometer, and basically it's a PCE-PQC. We also constructed a cardboard duct so that we could restrict the airflow through a known duct size. The PCE device does require that information in order to make a calculation to figure out the CFM based on the speed of the airflow. It does assume that the airflow speed going through the duct, though, is uniform, but I think for these rough calculations, this rudimentary setup is good enough. Here's a photo of our anemometer inside the duct that we created, and here's the duct sitting on top of the air purifier from Honeywell, and some paper over the rest of the vent to force all of the air through the air duct that we've created. And here's the PCE anemometer sitting on the side of the machine there. So based on the Honeywell Insight packaging, the manufacturer claims that there are 5 air turnovers for a 175 square foot room, which means that at some point it should provide at least 145.8 cubic feet per minute of airflow. Just as a caveat, this rudimentary setup is likely going to underestimate the number of cubic feet per minute of output that this Honeywell Insight can perform. Well, this is the setup, and you can see with the fan off, the anemometer is measuring 0 cubic feet per minute, which is what we would expect. Now we turn on the air purifier, and the air purifier has a CFM that's measuring out to be about 77 cubic feet per minute, which is a reasonable output. When we up the setting to setting number 2, the CFM does increase as expected, and it increases to 117 cubic feet per minute. Next, we will go and set it for setting number 3, and the CFM again increases as expected, and it goes up to approximately 170 cubic feet per minute. On setting number 4, which is the turbo setting, quote unquote, the CFM dramatically does increase, and it actually increases to 245 cubic feet per minute, which is an impressive amount, and much higher than the theoretical calculated CFM that this machine should be putting out. So this Honeywell Insight series actually over-delivers compared to its theoretical 145.8 cubic feet per minute. This table is a summary of the cubic feet per minute that we measured for this Honeywell device. I think the combination of this cubic feet per minute plus our previous measurements of a 97.96 filtration efficiency per pass makes this filter and air purifier incredibly good. Just to ensure that our setup wasn't creating some sort of bias data, we actually wanted to double check it by measuring another air purifier. And so we measured the Germ Guardian, which we've measured in the past, and it has a theoretical output of 270 cubic feet per minute based on the data that was provided by the company. So here's our setup on the Germ Guardian with the same duct and the anemometer from PCE. And you can see with the machine off, the anemometer is measuring 0. So the machine has 3 settings, and we are going to measure each of the 3 settings. And so here's the first setting, and the measurement came out to be approximately 34 cubic feet per minute output at this low setting, which is not very impressive. Nonetheless, on the 3rd setting, which we're about to show right here, we got an impressive 244 cubic feet per minute output, which is very similar to the Honeywell one on its turbo. On the 2nd setting, the CFM drops, but not significantly, to about 190 cubic feet per minute. Still pretty impressive. Nonetheless, the Air Guardian doesn't quite live up to its theoretical max, which is about 270 cubic feet per minute based on the data that was provided by the company, but this setup is likely underestimating the actual cubic feet per minute. So this is definitely within the ballpark, and this is a summary of the measurements that we performed on this device. If you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe below. Use the support. Talk to you later.